Good afternoon and welcome to the Ostersund Arena here in Sweden, hosting the 2017 World Para Ice Hockey Paralympic Winter Games Qualification Tournament. It's day number 1, game 2, as Germany lock horns with Japan. A very good afternoon to you wherever you are watching around the world on this live stream. I'm Jonathan Bell, and I'll be with you not just through this game but the duration of this week's tournament as well. Very much looking forward to what we've got on offer today. A German side who are looking to bounce back after a very disappointing World Championships in the Republic of Korea earlier this year. They finished 7th out of 7, and they take on a Japan team buoyed by their silver medal on home turf last year in the B Pool World Championship. So a very fascinating contest before our very eyes here in Ostersund. And both sets of players at the moment gearing up for what will be a very important 45 minutes worth of World Para Ice Hockey action. We've already had today the Czech Republic defeat Slovakia by 5-0. Most of the damage in that game was done in the first period of 15 minutes. 3 goals going into the first intermission, and Czech Republic never looked back. They are the pace setters then in this tournament. It is down now to Japan and Germany to respond effectively and put themselves in a strong enough position after day 1 to have a good chance of qualifying for the all-important PyeongChang Games next year in 2018. Of course, the Japanese side on your screen now in all black have undoubtedly made the longest journey in order to be here at this tournament in Sweden. They'll be hoping that they can stamp their ticket for the Republic of Korea and the Winter Paralympics next year and enjoy a much shorter trip to the South Korean city. So Germany, since their very poor campaign earlier on this year in South Korea, have had a bit of a change of players. More of their experienced players have departed. It means that at the moment they boast a roster of players that have never featured at a Winter Paralympic Games representing their country. Captain today for Germany is Bas Disveld, the number 3, just on the right of the screen. Dutch-born, but he's been a German since 2001, and he'll be leading his nation here today. Captain for Japan, incidentally, is their number 24, Satoru Sudo, a pioneer of Japanese para ice hockey. He has played a crucial role in the development of Japan's national para ice hockey athletes. So both sets of players break away from their respective blue lines. No doubt a quick team huddle before this one gets off and underway. Our officials for this match, Alexandra Skopac, Igor Hus and Andreas Nilsson, will be making sure that this one runs smoothly. So the officials just waiting for the thumbs up from the technical box. On the near side, it's Japan against Germany, live here from Ostersund in the 2017 World Para Ice Hockey Paralympic Winter Games Qualification Tournament. Only 3 out of 5 teams will be booking their flights at the end of this week to go to South Korea. Will either Japan or Germany be a part of that argument? Puck drop will get underway when the referee this afternoon, Alexander Skopac, just quickly shaking the hands of the respective coaches on the far side, and he signals towards the near now that the puck will be dropped and we can get this show on the road. A very tasty prospect, this one. Germany deflated after a very poor World Championships in the Republic of Korea. Japan riding high after that silver, and looking to go to the Winter Paralympic Games. Silver medalist, incidentally, in Vancouver in 2010 was the Japanese team. Will they be able to reach those heights again in the next 12 months? Silver certainly a colour that Japan are fond of. Runner-up in 2010 in Vancouver in the Winter Paralympics. In the B pool World Championships 2013 and 2016 they got silver, and they're off to a flyer here as well. The opening goal inside the first 30 seconds, and it has come courtesy of Masaru Komage, slamming it into the corner of the net. The German players go to their goaltender and just give him a quick tap of the stick to show they are still together after that early setback. But a super start for Japan, who lead by a goal to nil. Well, it was a pretty tentative start from Germany, and they've been caught asleep very early on. And of course they'll have watched the Czech Republic performance earlier and will have seen how quickly and how dangerous they were coming out the traps quickly. But they've gone and allowed Japan to enjoy the same sort of success early in this game as well. Bit of room for a second, and it's hit the post. Japan very much rattling the German backline at this moment in time, and the pressure still continues. The shot is fired wide that time around. And the Germans need to get a handle on this one. Vedder trying to make inroads and pick up the loose puck in the corner. Cuts it back. And Japanese backline managed to get it away. Nice stick handling on the near side, and then played in field, and the shot is low and just about stopped by Klaus Brozoska. In fact, Simon Kunst in the German goal, and I don't think he knew too much about it when the puck came towards him. So a rocky start for Germany, who have a bit of defending to do here as well, with the face-off in their own territory. Well, by Japan, Nakamura just dumps it into the corner. The rebound will be successfully attained by Sudo, the captain. Pulls it back and a shot comes in low. Couldn't be smothered away by Kunst. Just prodded back into that area again. Level with the hash mark, another low effort coming in. It's raining shots on the German goal. Latest one there from now, Kodoma. Still Sudo. Shot comes in, and it is denied miraculously by Kunst, who may have been obstructed there by the man in front of him. And penalty indeed has been called. So now Kodoma, the number 70, is the one making way. Well, there were only a few minutes left of the game earlier on today before we had our first penalty between Slovakia and the Czech Republic. And here it has taken just over 3 minutes. So a power play for Germany, an early lifeline for them after a very poor start indeed, and they almost make the most of it as well. A rasping drive there coming in from Yasta. Pressure still on. And Germany running into a bit of a cul-de-sac here. Japan certainly on the offensive in terms of attacking the power kill and making sure it's successful. But Germany have got to make the most of these opportunities, especially such an early opportunity to get back into this one. Loose puck picked up by Japan, and there's an aimless one forward from Yoshikawa. Germany can play out from the back. Vedder couldn't reach it. It's another loose puck. So far, so good for Japan with this penalty. Pilz has got room on the right. It's a good prod forward for Disveld as well. Disveld, see what he was trying to do there. The underlapping surge was from Pilz, just couldn't find him. Pilz ultimately gets it a few metres further back than he would have liked a few moments ago. Now Disveld, looking sharp. He's got a couple of options with him. Disveld may go alone, shoots, and just wide of the far post. Kuli Lauenstein. Pressure still on from Germany. Schroeder. Kuli Lauenstein just trying to slot one through a window of opportunity on the near side. Just about recovered by Schroeder in the end. Germany have got their tails up at the moment, but there's not long left of this power play. Kuli Lauenstein couldn't quite bring that under his spell, and now both players are at their full complement once again. And here comes Kadoma, just back from the penalty box. Maybe a bit rusty there as well. A great pace about this game. That early goal for Japan certainly throwing a spanner in the works as far as Germany were concerned, who are certainly now having to work to try and immediately get themselves back in this game. A good purpose. Well, Kuli Lauenstein there, a bit heavy in that collision with Ajay Masawa, who is still down. And the game continues momentarily, and then I think both sets of players have realised what's occurred and have decided to kill the puck. And a nasty slip on the far side as well from the physio, who's just waltzed his way onto the ice there. Usually the physios wait for the linesmen before they make their way towards the injured party, but I think the Japanese physio, he was Mehdi Nurivazari, or should I say Katuchi Akayana, who was a bit too keen there, and he almost ended up doing a somersault on the ice. Would have had to have got a physio there on the physio, but thankfully he's managed to go to Ajay Masawa, the injured party, who's now back upright behind the goal line away to my left, and he's been guided away through the exit in that far corner. So that already looks as if it's game time up, is it, for Masawa? Looks like they've changed their mind now, and he's going to go and join his teammates on the Japanese bench. So that's encouraging. It looks as if he's holding his midriff. No doubt about it that Kuli Lauenstein had the bit between his teeth, surging in for that one. And play will resume with a puck drop in Japanese territory. Oh, that's given away very cheaply indeed there from Pilz, and a real opportunity now for the Japanese coming forward. They've got a 3-on-1 if they use it right, and it's a fantastic save from Kuntz. The Germans going absolutely balmy there about the surge coming in towards Kuntz after they made the initial save. Tempers fraying very early on here, and the referee Alexander Skopak has done very well to just keep a lid on things and make sure that nothing boiled over. There's definite needle in this contest, and I think that's been notched up a couple gears more, and Kuntz is now the one laying in his own net, and the physio Mehdi Nurivazari is on to treat him. I'm sure it was purely accidental from the Japanese player bursting in, but nonetheless a nasty impact. And the officials there on your screen now just deliberating and negotiating their way around this. You can see how good a save it is initially from Kuntz, but then the follow-through was a very nasty one indeed, and we're about to find out now what retrospective action will be had. And it looks as if it will be a penalty. The captain of Japan can't quite believe it. Sudo can't believe it, and going off then is Wataru Hori, who had a late change of number. He was billed to be number 6 coming into this. Changed his shirt to number 2, and it doesn't seem to have offered much good fortune to him. Initially missing the opportunity thanks to the brilliance of Kunst, and then the follow-through, which has seen him penalised. So it looks like it's a minor, so just the 2 minutes off of the ice for Wataru Hori. Kunst, I'm glad to say, at the other end of the ice, he's got his helmet back on, he's fit to continue, hence the taps of the sticks from both sets of players towards the German stopper. But goodness me, we've not even played barely 5 minutes yet, and already so many talking points. So it's Kamaga's goal that separates the two teams, almost doubled there by Hori, who, after failing to hit the back of the net, is now spending the next 2 minutes in the penalty box. Here's the goal scorer, Kamagi. Tight to the board, gives it away to his opposite number. It's Segrev who just fizzes one in towards the near post. And the deflection comes straight back to him. It's a great opportunity. And denied fantastically by Fukushima in the Japanese goal. Goodness me, relentless start to this first period. And if the period itself can continue this level of pace and fluency, then we are in for an absolute belter. Kui Lauenstein, he's given a bit back by Sudo, but Kui Lauenstein has the possession still. Japan clear it away, and a bit of respite for a few moments for their defensemen. Germany just negotiating their way back up towards the other end. Knocked out towards the near side. And Didsfeld who switches it. Shot comes in and takes a couple of deflections before fizzing around the backboard. And again, Germany forced into the neutral zone to restart things. Didsfeld manages to regain it under his spell after slightly losing his bearings. Japan are tenacious, they win it back in a dangerous area. And Kunst has come out quite a bit of his way from the goal crease to just get a left glove on that and prevent Japan picking up the second puck. What a game. 8:20 remaining in the first period. Just the one goal in it. Japan on a couple of occasions close to making that 2. But Kunst has denied them. And Japan are now going to have all 5 players on the ice. So it's 5v5 in the outfield. Elmer couldn't find room to get the shot away. It's a good challenge coming in from Anaka. This game going at 100 miles an hour at the moment. And the brake's not being put on at all, even when it comes to clashing into your own teammates. It just shows how much is at stake in this game. Both teams will be eyeing this one up as a fixture on the calendar where they really believe 3 points is a necessity. It may not be so easy for Germany if they can keep that out. They haven't, and it's 2-0 to Japan. Goodness me, an almighty struggle. And Japan have doubled their lead, and it is courtesy of Mikio Anaka, who just agonisingly, from a German perspective, prodded it over the line. It was a 50-50 that Japan came out on top of, and they have doubled their advantage here. It is now Germany 0, Japan 2, and the Germans, despite really responding well to that first goal, have been hit with a second sucker punch. How demoralising will that goal prove to be in the remainder of the game and the tournament as a whole? It certainly has not gone to plan so far for the Germans at all. Of course, Germany trying to get to their first Paralympic Winter Games since 2006 in Torino. But they have a minor mountain to climb here in order to put themselves in good stead for the remainder of this tournament. Japan, of course, in action tomorrow. They are the first game of the day, 12 o'clock local time, 11 o'clock British summer time, against Sweden, who are playing on home territory for the first time in this qualification tournament. Germany, with the wind slightly knocked out of their sails, they can half the arrears here, though if they use this correctly. It's a good bat away from Fukushima in the Japan goal. Germany have some real intent at the moment about getting around the ice as briskly as possible and winning any loose pucks. But they do seem very susceptible to the Japan counter-charge. Face off in Japan territory. Ordered out on the face-off and will be replaced by Vedder. Very experienced is the German number 77. He's played in 4 World Championships, including the one in Gangneung earlier this year. But it's certainly it's a German team in transition. But it hasn't got off to a very good start in these first 10 minutes. Sklorz loops it, just click the top of the bar. Very ambitious from Sklorz. Not quite sure if he thought he could beat Fukushima from there, but it certainly must have given the Japanese goaltender one or two things to think about. Some heavy collisions in the Japanese defensive zone, as you'd expect. The frustration creeping in for Germany. But you'll certainly feel that 2 goals to nothing is a scoreline that flatters Japan. Penalty has been given there, and it is against Vedder, I think, who was late into it. In fact, the man making his way to the penalty box is actually at number 66, and I did mention about that frustration creeping in. It is the first time that in this game Germany have conceded the penalty. It's Torsten Elmer who will sit it out. So for the first time in this match, Japan with a man advantage. Can they extend their 2-goal advantage? Sklorz closed down by a couple of black jerseys, and the same as well for Shaglev on the near side. Sumo using all his experience and doing a very good job indeed to keep things flowing. Now it's Kadama surveying the scene and just looping it in towards the German crease there. Kuntz very much making light work of that one. Japan getting what they wanted out of that, keeping Germany pressed inside their own third with this upcoming face-off. Slight delay there as Germany just making that final change. Vedder back onto the ice. And now we are underway once more. Margate looking for someone in black to get on the end of that one. Sumo couldn't apply any threatening control with that. Disveld trying to keep up, but he's struggling. However, he forces Kumagai into looping possession into the far corner, and it's a good pull back that from Takashaki. Kumagai waltzing his way into a central position, unleashing it with the left and just missing the target. Then Kunst is able to get away the second attempt from Kumagai, who were running in on the rebound. But Japan coming again. 15 seconds left of the power play. But Kuli Launstein may end things on a high for Germany. Slammed straight into the face of Sumo. Now Kumagai. Germany back to full strength. As Kunz just knocks that away with his shins. Here's Hori. Leaves it nicely and then slammed in by Kumagai. I was hoping for a ricochet, I think, there off Kunst. Uera. Still the Germans doing the chasing. Uera. Japan working the puck nicely, being patient. Uera might have an angle here, pulls it back, and Hori was free in the centre. He tried to knock one in towards goal, and once again, he's the man that the Germans aren't too keen with, should I say, at the moment, because that's the second time he's clashed into the net. Thankfully, not as severe a collision at all as it was earlier with Simon Kunst in the German net. But Wataru Hori is absolutely not afraid to get stuck in. And you can see so far it's been a busy afternoon for Simon Kunst. He's had two fly past him, and with 2 minutes remaining of this first period, he'll be hoping that that will be as bad as it gets. He's just waiting for his net to be reassembled at the moment by the linesman, and it has been now. Green light has been issued. And off we go once more. Vedder. Have to throw it towards the path of Disveld. Excellent skating from Uehara. Just outnumbered in the end, but Disveld can't get on the end of that one. It's a loose puck that someone's going to take claim to. Vedder back to calm things down. Nice stick handling from him as well. Dumming the surge of Annika. It's Japan with possession, in a prominent position. It's a pretty speculative effort fired in from Uehara. Kodoma just trying to scoop it into the centre. No one forward in black could supply a finish to that. Japan zipping across the ice with great pace, and a great chance is just missed as well by Yoshikawa. I'm not sure if Coop's got fingertips on that one. Nonetheless, it was not far away at all. Final 60 seconds have begun. And Germany are not where they want to be. Disveld manages to work the space to get things forward. Elmer Composed from him, waiting for support. Got the support as well, courtesy of Reidler, but he's fired into no man's land really. However, Kulli Launstein makes something of that. He's waiting for the white shirts to flurry forward. Puck forced back into the neutral zone. And there's a couple of German players offside. One of them is Kulli Launstein. And the linesman duly puts his whistle to his lips to indicate the infringement. And so we will have a face-off as we approach the final few seconds of what has been an enticing and thoroughly entertaining first period here. Germany 0, Japan 2. Japan simply clinical. And Germany are yet to find the back of Shinobu Fukushima's net. Not for the want of trying, with a couple of decent efforts. But Japan have been very resolute so far. Yui Era's had a wonderful game so far. Reidler is the man who comes out on top. And now Germany have numbers. Can they work this one well? Good chance at the end of the first period here. Kulli Launstein forced wide, couldn't get a shot away. Still rebounding around and somehow kept up by Fukushima. I don't even think he saw where the puck was there. And a deflection on the puck as it squirmed through towards Fukushima's net. And I think that bit of play there right at the end of the first period absolutely epitomises how entertaining a first third that was. What a great 15 minutes of para ice hockey here in Ostersund. Japan, though, will definitely be the ones who have enjoyed it far more than their German rivals. They lead by 2-0 going into the first intermission. Goals from Masahiro Kumagai, followed swiftly by a second, means that going into the first break, it's Germany 0, Japan 2. We'll be back in around 10 minutes time with action from the second period. Do not go anywhere. Early in this game as well. Bit of room for a second and it's hit the post. Nice stick handling on the near side and then played in field and the shot is low and just prodded back into that area again. Level with the hash mark, another low sharp. He's got a couple of options with him. Disvelt may go alone, shoots and just wide enough for the Japanese coming forward. They've got a 3-on-1 if they use it right and it's a fantastic save from Cooch. The German slightly losing his bearings. Japan are tenacious. They win it back in a dangerous area. So easy for Germany if they can keep that out. They haven't, and it's 2-0. So easy for Germany if they can keep that out. They haven't, and it's... Now it's Kadama surveying the scene and just looping it in. It's Japan with possession in a prominent position. So Japan zipping across the ice with great pace and a great chance is just early in this game as well. Bit of room for a second and it's hit the post. Nice stick handling on the near side and then played in field and the shot is low and just prodded back into that area again. Level with the hash mark, another low sharp. He's got a couple of options with him. Disvelt may go alone, shoots and just wide enough for the Japanese coming forward. They've got a 3-on-1 if they use it right and it's a fantastic save from Cooch. The German slightly losing his bearings. Japan are tenacious. They win it back in a dangerous area. So easy for Germany if they can keep that out. They haven't, and it's 2-0. So easy for Germany if they can keep that out. They haven't, and it's... Now it's Kadama surveying the scene and just looping it in. It's Japan with possession in a prominent position. So Japan zipping across the ice with great pace and a great chance. He's just missed as well. Welcome back to the Ostersund Arena for the second period of this day one game between Japan and Germany. It's Japan leading the way at the moment. 2-0 they lead in a very touchy and fractious first half on occasion, but certainly filled with talking points and captivating from minute 0 to 15. We hope for much more of the same in the second period. Goals from Kumagai and Anaka is what's separating these two nations in a day where we've already had one game. That was the Czech Republic defeating Slovakia by 4-0, and 5-0, and it was a big statement of intent from the reigning B Pool World Champions. That Japan in that B Pool World Championships finished second, and it looks as if they are going to follow their fellow finalists from last year to having 3 points at the end of day one. Germany with a bit of work to do, but it has to be said, if Germany get the next goal, it will make things very interesting indeed. Germany already looking a lot brighter than they did earlier this year at the World Championships A Pool in the Republic of Korea. They are seeking redemption after a very underwhelming campaign. They've had a few changes in personnel. They do have that extra zip and purpose that they did 6 months ago. However, it's not been enough so far to overcome this very dogged and impressive Japan team. We're all set for the second period of 15 minutes then. Referee Alexander Skopak just making sure everyone is ready. The thumb has been raised and the puck has been dropped. Off we go. A big second period this. Every minute counts in this tournament. There are 3 places available. 2 are going to miss out on qualification for the Paralympic Winter Games 2018 PyeongChang. Germany immediately quick out the traps, but Japan just moving the puck around a bit too quickly. Oh, the Germans liking at the moment. However, the Europeans have it now. Man is just about to pick up the loose puck as well there from Sklorts, but has to concede possession in the process. And then there's a bit of an opening here that Germany was certainly not expecting. A real chance and a big save that. Hori through, but then it's in eventually, courtesy of Takahashi. And what a start to the second period for Japan. An absolute nightmare as far as Andres Paconi and Germany are concerned, and it's actually an own goal from Kui Launstein in the most unfortunate of circumstances. It was initially a big scrambled effort to save Hori's shot by Kunst. It then squirmed towards Kui Launstein, who got the final touch on the puck before it went into the back of his own net. It's a demoralising goal. The third goal against you always is, but the fact it's come courtesy of your own player just makes it that little bit worse. And Japan lead by 3-0. And any positive energy that was created in that first intermission by the German coach Andreas Paconi has evaporated just as quickly as the puck is moving around on the ice at the moment at a solid rate. And it's been a very engaging match indeed. I said earlier on that the first game of the day between Czech Republic and Slovakia was a good advert for para ice hockey, and this has been very much the same. Both sides have given it their all here, but the margin of 3 is purely down, well, 2 of the goals at least, to clinical nature, and the third, big misfortune on Germany's part. Icing call made. Germany can throw players forward. Well, I said they needed a goal in this period to really make things interesting. After that third goal, they need one pretty much now in order to make a strong fist of this. But credit to Japan and Asian para sport in the world of para ice hockey. Certainly on the rise at the moment, not just the fact that they're hosting in the Republic of Korea next year's Paralympic Winter Games, but the Republic of Korea didn't just qualify for next year's Paralympic Games because they are the host. They very much merited their third place finish at the World Championships earlier this year, which would have secured qualification anyway. And Japan are trying to go in the same vein here, but a bit of pressure towards their goal as the shot is fired in, but well met by Fukushima. Danger still not fully out of Japanese territory. It's a strong challenge from Sklorz that keeps the puck alive. Germany chasing down every puck. Looking to make sure, though, that they are actually gaining the puck rather than just chasing shadows. Great play from Annika, and it has released a chance for Uera here. He's got an option inside, but may go alone, and what a save by Kuntz. And once again, complaints from the Germans about the follow-through. Of course, on a couple of occasions in the first period, Wataru Hori, the number 2 for Japan, had efforts that saw him so close to the goalkeeper's crease. He actually went into the net himself, along with Simon Kuntz. And the same almost happened there, as Uera bared down on goal. But once again, the officials doing a very good job to defuse the situation very quickly indeed. So it will be a penalty against Japan. You can just see the referee at the bottom of your screen talking to the technical box and informing them of the infringement. And Uera will sit out the next 2 minutes. There's the slamming of the door. And Uera certainly will not be able to get out. He'll have to watch on frustratingly for the next 2 minutes. Germany must capitalise. Of course, Sklorz is still off himself. In fact, Sklorz has gone off as well as Uera, so both teams experiencing a penalty simultaneously at the moment. Not quite sure what Sklorz did there, but nonetheless, both players experiencing 2 minutes off of the ice. So it's 4 against 4 in the outfield. Vedder, ambitious. Radler can pick up the loose pickings. A strong collision between him and Kamagi, scoring the first Japanese goal. Very physical contest in that corner. There's Vedder, too much pace on the puck there to get on the end of, and Kamagi comes away with it. It's a nice release as well. This is Sudo, and it's just gone over the glass board behind the goal there. Couldn't quite find his shooting radar. Good Satoru Sudo, the Japan captain. So a new puck is required. The German players are taking instructions there from German coach Andreas Baccorni, who is cutting a very frustrated figure on the far side. And of course, there are 2 teams here at this qualification tournament that were in Korea earlier this year, Germany and also Sweden as well. Sweden have had a shuffle, not just on the ice but off it as well, with Jürgen Lundgren no longer at the helm there. But Andreas Baccorni has been entrusted as to keep doing his job and to fire Germany back up to where they feel they belong. German side that has stalled for the last 5-10 years. And they've seen other sides come up above them. This tournament, a chance of retribution, possibility of a first Paralympic Games after missing the last two. Japan enjoying a lot of possession here. Sudo fires one, and I think Kuntz may have just got the glove on that to guide it over. Now both sets of players that were in the penalty box are back on. Sklort's one of them, and straight away into the thick of it. It's a poor effort though, because he just tried to ask a question of Fukushima. And Fukushima hasn't really had enough to do in the Japan goal for Germany's liking. They battle hard, but when they have the puck at their sticks, they really need to start offering that bit more quality and penetration in the final third. They have an opportunity to do that now, however, with the puck in Japan territory, but very swiftly Uehara has the puck at his stick, and now Japan on the counter charge. Dallied on it there, did Kumagai, and that means that Germany get it back. It's a looped effort in that goes wide. Kumagai trying to come forward with it again, and this time Disvel's on the end of it. Nearly tries to fizz it into the mixer. It's a good interception that can set Japan on their way down at the other end. Uehara just didn't get it under his spell first time of asking, will do this time around. He manages to pull it back as well. Again, Germany trying to just suffocate Japan at the moment and deny them of room to manoeuvre. So they've gifted possession to Hori, who read the play well. Disvel with another opportunity to get it away, and he succeeds this time. Goes over halfway, and it will be denied from icing by Uehara. Closed down by Elmer, and his teammate Disvel's onto the scene as well. It's a 2-on-1 in Germany's favour here. Strength in numbers, and strength physically as well, just about. As Elmer prods it forward, but Germany struggling to keep sustained possession of the puck. Such a vigorous pace to this game. It's been wonderful to watch, and a chance for Germany to get back in it, and Vedder has fired it over. A golden chance for Jörg Vedder. And a forward with such experience, you would expect to hit the target from there. You can see he's tried to find the top of the net. He just got underneath the puck a bit too much. That's encouraging though for Germany, although they do have to be taking them opportunities. Albinus shoved off his avenue there to win the puck, but Kuli Launstein, a man so unfortunate to score the third Japan goal into his own net, comes forward. Possession lost, and Japan are so threatening in this position. Kodoma now. Germany with everyone but one back. Kodoma turning on a dime, couldn't quite engineer sufficient contact on the pass. It did eventually find the stick of Yoshikawa, who fired one in. Kuntz equal to it. And this game like a basketball match at the moment, because here they come down the other end. Shot comes in off the outside of the post. It was Schrader with it, and he was very unfortunate not to find the target. I would be very surprised indeed if the scoring ended here. Germany have come close on a couple of occasions, and you can see they are not giving up at all. This is a very different Germany team to the one that we saw in Gangneung earlier this year, because this is a side not giving up. Schrader, heavy collision coming in, and almost like human dodgems at the moment. Germans now through Disveld trying to add a bit more flair to the contest, trying to find the room to work with. Japan just clogging up the centre of their defensive zone, and again it's just a big black wall that stands in front of the Germans. Fantastic last-ditch challenge there to get it away, and Disveld is through, and Disveld at the hash mark can pull one back, no mistake. Germany have a route back into this one. It's 3-1, and it is captain Bas Disveld who has managed to finally break down the Japanese rearguard, who were nowhere to be seen when that broke forward. There was a Japan change going off at the time, which probably was poor timing from the Japanese bench. But Shinobu Fukushima is beaten with 5.5 minutes remaining of this second period. And Germany have an avenue to maximise now. It's Germany 1, Japan 3. Well, it's more or less as you were at the start of this period now. The buffer back down to 2. And there's a spring in the German step. Elmer's got a man over. It's Disveld. Oh, he tried to be selfless and just guide it back into the centre. Vedder got the touch on it before Elmer did. And then the puck is in the crease. And I think rightly so, the officials stopped play there, because we've seen on too many occasions already this afternoon as how a scramble in the goal mouth can lead to some unsavoury scenes. And the officials making sure that situation evaporated as quickly as it began. What a contest we've got here. And it's been a great game all the way through, but from a neutral perspective, it's now great to see the scoreline reflecting that, because it means we're going to have a very entertaining final 20 minutes. Japan looking to put this one to bed. Kuntz denying a fourth, but it's still loose. And again, a bit of a scramble going off around the goal line area at the front post. Germany with men back to crowd out the Japanese threat. Kuntz unscathed from that one, and it'll be a face-off in German territory. Takahashi will be taking part in this face-off for Japan against Segrev. Puck squirms out into the path of Hori, who switches it towards Kumagai. This game, absolutely hammer and tong, relentless stuff, and Japan eyeing up a fourth. And they're still looking threatening here, and a good chance that Kuntz just about prods away. Kumagai with a bit of an opening as he came in from the left. Bit of a catch-22 at the moment for Germany. They need people forward, but they don't want to be susceptible at the back. Piltz just giving it his all there as he collides into the challenge in the centre. Hori away. Here's Kumagai. Germany with men back, but they've left a bit of room on the far side. An angle shot for Kumagai, and it just took a deflection off Uera, but couldn't divert it towards goal. Kuntz may have got a flick on it as well in the mixer. Hands to the pump stuff for Germany at the moment, as Japan lick their lips in search of a game killer. But then possession. Turn side, Kuei Launstein goes for a difficult effort. He was on the stretch. He's still trying his best to keep things alive, and the Japanese two there were too distracted by Kuli Launstein, not enough by the puck. That means that Disveld had it, and he has it again now. Cannon towards Schrader, trying to wheel his way in from the left. It's a nice idea, but it was difficult to conjure up, and then there's an injury to, or maybe just a loss of a glove. I don't know if it's anything more than that on the far side. The German down is Lukas Sklorz, who is just 21 years of age, and will be a player that Andreas Picconi will be looking to. He's one of many players who are the next German generation. So face-off in the neutral zone has been ordered by the officials, as there was no wrongdoing there in that collision. But what a grandstand finish period 3 promises to be. That's if the scores stay as they are. It really is in the balance. The Japanese fourth, and surely Germany's chances are up. But if Germany get the next goal, especially before these 3 minutes are out, then it could be anybody's. It's a difficult game for both teams to manage. Uera, who has been excellent all game, goes his way through, past a couple of white jerseys, then tries to switch it. Pass had too much venom on it, but still it's alive and pulled back. And Germany can squeeze Japan back into their own third. Almost a lapse in concentration there at the back, but it didn't matter, as Annika turns defence into attack very quickly indeed. Disveld back to help out his teammates, and the German goal scorer then eyes up an attack now, and Vedder will be the one supplied the task to go and get that one, but the icing call is made before Vedder could make sufficient inroads. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us as well online via social media. Follow us on Twitter @ParaIceHockey. And get in touch with us on the hashtag Ostersund 2017 as well. Oh, goodness me, Japan have got the ball, fired into the net. And surely that could be the one that finally secures Japan the 3 points in this fixture. It came out of absolutely nothing, but I think it's Uera that finds the target into the bottom corner of Simon Kuntz's net. He certainly deserves a goal, does Uera, who has been wonderful for Japan in this game. And is that going to be that now? It's Germany 1, Japan 4. And such a blow for Germany, who had got the goal from Disveld. They had so many reasons to be optimistic, but the hope and that strike there from Uera together may have just killed the Germans off in this one. The big thing is, how do you react from a result like this? Of course, as ever in the world of para ice hockey, it's a tight schedule. These players will have to recuperate and refresh themselves for the upcoming fixtures. Japan back in action straight away tomorrow at 12 noon. But they could be coming in on the back of a 5-goal haul, and they've scored again now. Kamagai with his second of the match, picking up the loose pickings and making no mistake by firing it high past Simon Kuntz. A scoreline that is very harsh indeed on Germany, but Japan will not complain one little bit. It's Germany 1, Japan 5. So many of these Japan goals have just come out of nowhere. so quick, however, to react to anything loose and gobble it up that there is no time for the German defenseman nor Simon Kunst in the German goal to respond. Japan are definitely hot prospects in this tournament. Said that earlier on that the Czech Republic has set a benchmark. Japan not fazed by that at all. And there is some dejected faces on the far side on the German bench. It's going to be a tough team talk in the second intermission in 30 seconds time for Andreas Pokorny. But even if they don't get points out of this one, goal difference could be crucial as well. A goal back here would be nice. Albanus beaten to it by the pace of Kadoma. He has time to assess his options. Gets a fortunate ricochet as well from Didsveld, but then the pass from Sumo forward only goes to the black jersey of Veda. And there is the sound of the hooter, as both teams will now go to their respective benches on the far side, and it will be a very tough team talk for Andreas Pokorny. Germany seemingly squeezing their way back into the contest as Bas Didsveld managed to make it 3-1 with a wonderful finish past Fukushima, went through one-on-one. But since then, Japan have really struck back, and with some venom as well. Kumagai has got on the score sheet, as has Uehara. And it means that the scoreline going into this second intermission after 2 periods, it's Germany 1, Japan 5. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back with the final 15 minutes in around 10 minutes time. Germany was certainly not expecting a real chance, and a big save that. Hori through, but then it's in eventually. At least a chance for Uehara here. He's got an option inside, but may go alone, and what a save here. Sudo fires one, and I think Kuntz has been wonderful to watch. And a chance for Germany to get back in it, and Veda time couldn't quite engineer sufficient contact on the pass. All match at the moment. Because here they come, down the other end, shot comes in off the outside. Oh, fantastic last-ditch challenge there to get it away. And Didsveld is through, and Didsveld at the hash mark, could pull one back, no mistake. Away. And Didsveld is through, and Didsveld at the hash mark, could pull one back, no mistake. But they've left a bit of room on the far side, an angle shot for Kumagai, and it just... Get in touch with us on the hashtag Ostersund 2017 as well. Oh, goodness me, Japan have got... 2017 as well. Oh, goodness me! For the upcoming fixtures, Japan back in action straight away tomorrow at 12 noon. But they could be coming in straight away tomorrow at 12 noon. But they could be here. That Germany was certainly not expecting a real chance, and a big save that. Hori through, but then it's in eventually. At least a chance for Uehara here. He's got an option inside, but may go alone, and what a save here. Sudo fires one, and I think Kuntz has been wonderful to watch. And a chance for Germany to get back in it, and Veda time couldn't quite engineer sufficient contact on the pass. All match at the moment. Because here they come, down the other end, shot comes in off the outside. Oh, fantastic last-ditch challenge there to get it away. And Didsveld is through, and Didsveld at the hash mark, could pull one back, no mistake. Away. And Didsveld is through, and Didsveld at the hash mark, could pull one back, no mistake. But they've left a bit of room on the far side, an angle shot for Kumagai, and it just... Get in touch with us on the hashtag Ostersund 2017 as well. Oh, goodness me, Japan have got... 2017 as well. Oh, goodness me! For the upcoming fixtures, Japan back in action straight away tomorrow at 12 noon. But they could be it coming in straight away tomorrow at 12 noon. But they could. Hello and welcome back to Ostersund and the 2017 World Para Ice Hockey Paralympic Winter Games Qualification Tournament. We are 2/3 of the way through Game 2 on day 1, and it is Japan leading by 5-1 against Germany. A scoreline which looks emphatic and quite scolding on the German team. However, I would argue that the scoreline doesn't necessarily reflect the nature of the game. Germany have given it a right go today. It is definitely a much better performance than any of the performances they conjured up in Gangneung at the World Championships earlier this year. However, they just haven't quite had the rub of the green, epitomised on a couple of occasions in the last period, where right at the start of it, after being 2-0 down, an own goal from Ingo Kudi-Launstein put Japan 3 goals ahead. Then there was a glimmer of hope. Captain Bas Disveld slammed home when one-on-one with Shinobu Fukushima. However, quick-fire strikes right at the end of the second period from Daisuke Uehara and a second for Masaharu Kumagai means that we are where we are now. Germany 1, Japan 5. The final 15 minutes coming up live here on the stream with myself, Jonathan Bell. Can Germany manage to climb one hell of a mountain in this one? Even if they don't manage to secure a point from this, goal difference could be pretty crucial come the end of the week. As we find out here in Ostersund, in the heart of Sweden, who will be at next year's Paralympic Winter Games. One last roar from both sets of benches before we get underway with the final 15 minutes. What have Germany got up their sleeves? Can Japan expose the German gaps that are undoubtedly going to be left as they push for a route back into this? It's been competitive stuff all the way through, but Japan have just had that little bit extra in front of Simon Kuntz's goal. And Germany have managed to muster in front of Shinobu Fukushima's net. Icing call early on will mean that all the outfield players will squeeze into Japanese territory. Be interesting to see the statistics on face-offs, because it appears to me Japan have won far too many for Germany's liking. Just seem to be an inch ahead, and it is a matter of inches which separates you from what will be failure to qualify for next year's Paralympics and success on being on that plane to Gangneung, PyeongChang 2018. Another face-off in the exact same position as to what we had a few seconds ago. It's been a very physical contest, and that is no surprise. That is para ice hockey for you. However, it has gone a little bit too far at times. We've had our fair share of penalties, but we've had some great skill on show as well. Nice stick handling there before a penalty is given, and it will go against the German. I think it's Elmer. In fact, no, it's not. It's Schreider who will sit out. So Schreider is off for 2 minutes. So minor foul. Here I go again, blasts out in the arena. I'm sure that's what Andreas McCordy will be thinking right now with this scoreline. A torrid time for Germany earlier on in the year at the World Championships, and it's been a poor start here as well. The performance, though, is promising. The scoreline, as bad as it may be, cannot demoralise Germany too much because they have a lot of games to come to try and overturn this. A win can change anything and everything. Uera, who's had a wonderful game, surging, looking for his second, denied by Kunst. Pretty food and drink stuff for the German stopper to deny that one. Sumo doing a 360 before managing to put the puck into the corner. Pori. And again, despite the fact he failed to stick handle effectively, it still goes to a teammate. That one loose, but Uera will just slam it down the board. And once again, the Japanese team absolutely everywhere. Loose from Kumagai though, and that means that Pori has to backtrack and he's under pressure from Kuri Lauenstein. Pori, nice threaded pass for Takahasha. He releases it out wide for Kumagai. He's got Vedder in front of him, and Vedder just manages to reverse the flow of play momentarily. Uera. Excellent vision. Kumagai can't quite get on the end of it. But again, Japan there for loose pickings. But Germany only have 10 seconds left to play with the man deficit. Vedder claiming he was impeded there from Kumagai, but the linesman on the far side not interested. And back comes Scheider. And once again we are at 5-on-5. Decent chance for Japan. Trying to ghost his way around the back with Yoshikawa. So nicely called once again, and it's in German territory. Quiet start to this final period. Uera just hogged the puck under his sledge there before getting into the corner. He's still got it. Wonderful play from him. Just couldn't quite be received from Yoshikawa along the backboard, but he's keen to make it his for the second time of asking. Vedder loses track of the puck, spinning around aimlessly at the moment on the spot. Japan get a shot away, and they get a sixth. It's Kodama with it. He was one of Japan's top scorers in 2016 at the B-Pool World Championships, and he fires it in past Simon Kunst, who could not get a sniff of it. And it's a super sixth for Japan. They lead by 6-1. Well, Germany have took many punches in this game, and that one surely is the knockout blow. I think Simon Kunst there, a man so reliable in the German goal, may have had his view obstructed by one of his defensemen who were on the ice. We'll see the replay in a few minutes' time to try and clear that one up, but Kunst was just frozen. And Kodama certainly was not complaining. Damage limitation you feel now for Germany. Uera fancies another, good save from Kunst that time around. He was struggling because he was going backwards towards his own goal there before managing to lever out the right arm to divert it past the post. Pori, nice reverse pass. Sudo's up there as well. Another opportunity is fired in. Kuntz this time can claim that right down his throat. It's come a guy looking for a hat-trick. Of course, we've already had one hat-trick today here in Ostersund, courtesy of Pavel Kubek of the Czech Republic earlier on today in that 5-0 demolition of Slovakia. Japan will finish this game on the same points with the same goal difference, but because they've scored a goal more than the Czech Republic, they will top the standings on day one. Don't forget that this is a round-robin format this week, and it's quite simply the teams that finish in the top three qualify for next year's Paralympic Winter Games. Here comes Germany. Ousted very well indeed by Nakamura back there for Japan. Vedder, Uera showing him who's boss, but Vedder keeps hold of possession, and then another clash on the backboard on the far side. Looked very nasty indeed. Albanus, not seen too much of him in this game. Now Uera, seen an awful lot of him. Bursting his way into the attacking zone and did a bit too much there. It's a sled-on-sled collision on the blue line, but Germany coming out on top. Elman didn't get purchase on it, but it works out nicely for Disveld, who's got room to fire, but fire he couldn't quite able to do. It's a tame effort from the German captain. Pendulum momentarily still in Germany's favour, but that's all it is momentarily, because Japan now have space to charge their way from the back. Uara comes so far with the puck, couldn't put it in a dangerous enough area. We'll have another bite of the cherry now. It's a great assist as this goes in. It's just slammed wide there by Yoshikawa. Great play once again by Uara. Magical control with the sticks. And he just put it into a perfect area for Yoshikawa, who was free. Couldn't quite wrap his right blade around it to stick it home past Simon Kunst. As I say, this is the second game of day number one here at Ostersund. We're back with action tomorrow from 12 o'clock local time, that's 11 o'clock British summer time. And the host nation, Sweden, take to the ice up against Japan. And I can see people here of a Swedish persuasion. Jürgen Lundgren, for one, the former Sweden head coach. It was his birthday yesterday as well. His son, Rasmus Lundgren, plays in the Swedish team. And he, like many other Swedes here in the Ostersund Arena, will be keeping a very keen eye on the threat that Japan pose. Just a conversation going off at the moment in the top right of your screen, you may see, between a referee this afternoon, who's Alexander Skopak, and his linesman, also with I think it's the German physio on that far side. Not quite sure what the discussion is there. Just a slight delay. It's a perfect opportunity to tell you that you can follow us on Twitter at Para Ice Hockey. Get in touch with any questions you may have, along with the hashtag Ostersund 2017. You may be new to the world of Para Ice Hockey, or you may be watching it for quite a few years, but are not quite sure how the qualification process works for next year's games. Of course, we are here this week to find out which three teams will be joining the five that qualified from the World Championships earlier this year. Hori, gentle effort towards the far corner. It was accurate though, and Kuntz was aware. Prodded it away. Danger still not clear. Hori again. What a audacious flick that was towards the far post. It had Kuntz flailing, and Kuntz has been kept very busy at the moment. Now he's got a bit of respite as the clearance forward tries to set off on his tracks there, Strada, and he put it into the back of the net. Confusion in the back line for Japan. And Germany have their second. They certainly deserve the scoreline to be a lot narrower than what it is. But it was calamitous play at the back. Fukushima just didn't take control of the unfolding scenario. And Schrader lapped it up. It's that bit of fortune that Germany have been craving for in this match. And with 7.5 minutes to go, they finally get a slice of it. It's Germany 2, Japan 6. Reidler. Well, surely that goal, surely it only counts as a token of Germany's hard work, and means that the goal difference won't be as severe as it may have been a few moments ago. It would be astonishing if Germany could get level in this one. It's a sizable difference still of 4, and time not necessarily on Germany's side either, with just over 7 minutes remaining. But certainly something to raise the odd smile on the German bench, and also to get the German tails wagging as well. Japan trying to stick Germany in a position where they want them to be, and that's inside own territory. Disveld now has it. Just forced into a bit of a cul-de-sac here. He'll do well to squirm his way out of this one. Pressure coming courtesy of Yoshikawa on the near side, and also on the scene is Kadama as well, the scorer of the 6th. Last touch, finally, coming off at Skloos there to get it away. Skloos just about denying the window of opportunity for Satoru Sudo there, who was making a wonderful dart forward from the back. Slammed in towards Kunst. He didn't know too much about it, but managed to just get his body behind it nonetheless. Now it's Skloos. Beaten for strength, Yoshikawa. Manages to prod it forward. It's a real scramble in the centre at the moment. Both teams just plugging that area. And so much so that the German players are beginning to collide into each other. Real scrappy period of play, but as far as Japan are concerned, it's kill a couple of minutes. Bit of room now for Sumo. Heavy touch from him, and Elmer sniffs it out for dumping it into the corner. Chase on for Vedder. Absolutely batters Uera off the hook there. Great strength from Vedder, who's still going. But between them, Japan see it out. Ambitious effort coming in from Peltz. It bounced up just in front of Fukushima, who nudged it away from his goal. Now Uera. Be very surprised if he's not player of the match for Japan after this one. Hori. Bit of an angle, but that didn't stop him from firing it in. Just clipped the outside of the far post. Uera back on defensive duty. Sumo picks up the loose puck. Options in field. Now Hori again. Keen for a goal. They get an assist as well. Trying to just thread through the pass for Takahashi. Really Launstein trying to show his strength on Uera, but Uera exerts his prowess very well indeed. And once again the puck stumped on the near side towards the board, and the referee has intervened. And who is that against? Could just be the referee confirming that the puck was dead and therefore will restart in the neutral zone from afresh, which I think is the case. It's a chance for both teams to chop and change a couple of the outfield players. 3.5 minutes to go. And Japan should be very happy with their performance indeed. They've shown exactly why they were silver medalists at the B-Pool World Championships back in the home country last winter. Billy Launstein can't get on the end of that one for Germany. Still hasn't managed to atone for his earlier own goal, which was incredibly unfortunate. Germany overall appear to me a far better outfit and much more purposeful than they were in Gangneung in April's World Championships. Andres Picconi's revamp of the squad may not look as if it's done its job in terms of the scoreline, but the mentality of the German players appears to be a lot different. And the fact that they're 4 goals down and they're still chasing every puck tells you all you need to know. And I think Germany are going to do better than 1 or 2 people may have expected, including myself. Disveld. Arcing round the goal, trying to find Albinus, does so. A couple of black jerseys in front of him blocking the effort. Disveld still trying to orchestrate something positive for Germany here, inside the final 2.5 minutes. Japan just doing that dogged defensive work, which they do so well. And then they can turn defence into attack. And Uera gliding his way through the centre of the ice. Only Albinus to beat before he gets to Kuntz, and Kuntz just heads it away. How about that? I think Simon Kuntz has been watching a bit of Mats Hummels for Germany and the football team, because the way he headed that one away was very cool indeed. Uera very close there to getting a brace. The puck is loose and the puck slides out for icing. The game dwindling down really after that Germany goal, but how about that for a save from Simon Kuntz? So a restart with the face-off. Again, it's Japan giving some fine margins that total up and result in the sort of scoreline we're witnessing. Do you put it down to misfortune, or Japan just that little bit sharper on the ice? Disveld in a tug of war on the near side with a couple of Japanese players, one of them Kumagai, who got the last touch on it. Puck still concentrated on this near side of the rink. Sumo didn't really get his sticks in order there. He was using the handle to manoeuvre that one away rather than the blade at the bottom. And Elmer pulls it back for Disveld, and that almost was Germany punishing Sumo and Japan there, but they get away with it this time around. Fukushima proving to be a much safer pair of hands than he was for the second German goal. And a timeout has been called here by Japan, and I think that's Japan just making sure that they deflate this contest a wee bit. Been getting a bit tetchy in the last few moments, and of course when you've got a busy schedule and you've got a game coming up as soon as Japan have tomorrow at 12 o'clock local time against Sweden. You want to take all the breathers that you possibly can. Just looking at a couple of the highlights here from this third period. And so many efforts in the third period alone. It's been fantastic entertainment, this match. 8 goals. Lots of commitment. Some good pieces of quality as well. And it puts us in very much good stead for the upcoming 5 days of action. It is just day one. And of course, as the points and the goals begin to be put onto the standings, the permutations become a bit clearer for all 5 teams as to what they need to do to finish in the top 3. It should get even more competitive. Germany's goal in the next 30 seconds is to half the deficit if possible. Certainly, it's aim as well not to concede a 7th. Injury on the far side, Pilz is down for Germany. Game stopped for icing anyway, so that gives the referee and the medic on the far side an opportunity to just make sure that Christian Pilz is okay. We've seen a couple of injuries in the first 2 matches today on day number 1 of this Paralympic Winter Games qualification tournament. Pilz remains on the ice. Gets a few stick taps from his players. I think he may just be sacrificed for the last 30 seconds and taken off anyway. Indeed he is. So he's replaced. You'd expect that to be the last of the action here. Uera's got a couple of white shirts around him. Willie Launstein tries to pull it back. There was no one in the centre. They were more sucked into the action going off in the corner. A lovely jump from the linesman there to avoid the puck. And a big celebration as well behind him on the Japanese bench, because the full-time horn has sounded and Japan have won their first game of this qualification tournament by 6 goals to 2. A very handsome scoreline indeed. Germany can feel hard done by. They certainly lacked fortune in this one right up until the third period. Japan absolutely flawless in the first period. They were leading by 2 goals to 0. And then right at the start of the second period, Germany seemed to come out with a new vigour. But inside the first minute of it, Ingo Willie Launstein put into the back of his own net, which meant that Japan held a very firm scoreline indeed. Despite the best efforts of Bas Disveld, who pulled it back to 3-1, Japan strengthened their advantage in this with a couple of late goals in the second period. And the third, Germany did manage to get another one onto the score sheet after a mistake at the back by the goaltender of Japan, Shinobu Fukushima. As far as Japan are concerned, it's a brace for Masaru Kumagai. Goals as well, but now Kodama, Mikio Anaka and Daisuke Uehara, who has been absolutely outstanding. For me, player of the match for Japan, but we're about to find out who that is now. But first, the national anthem of the victorious side, Japan. Well, a vast majority of those sticks you can hear tapping there are those of a Japanese persuasion.
Player of the game in each team is handed over.
And we're now about to find out the player of the game for both sides. Starting off with Japan.
Number 96,
There's Mashiharu Kumagai instead of the Sukeyuara. Maybe next time. A brace, of course, for Mashiharu Kumagai, who was very inventive in the final third, and he was clinical as well when his opportunities arose. And his goals a big part of Japan's success this afternoon.
And in Germany, player number 3, Lisbeth Batz.
Now for Germany, their captain, Klaus Disveld, the number 3, will lay claim to that. Stick taps from all his teammates. And I do hope morale in the German camp is still high, despite the what seems to be thumping scoreline today. Germany competed well and have a lot of room for optimism in future games. However, they've only got 3 games should I say, remaining now to make count and put them in contention of getting to the Winter Paralympic Games next year in PyeongChang 2018. Well, we are a day closer to finding out which 3 teams will be in the Republic of Korea next April and March in the 2018 PyeongChang Paralympic Winter Games. 2 games today. Czech Republic opening things up with a 5-0 victory against Slovakia. And closing today's play, it has finished Japan 6, Germany 2. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jonathan Bell. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, 5 to 12 local time, which is 5 to 11 British summer time, as the host nation Sweden take on Japan. Will the Japanese make it 2 from 2? Find out tomorrow. For now, goodbye.